Hare Krishna, a very warm welcome to our program on Srimad Bhagavatam study. Today is the quiz day. We are going to discuss this quiz which we have issued previously to the devotees which attend our classes. Uh, Today's quiz is based on Canto number 1, chapter 15 to 19. Overall, this is our 58th class. We have recently concluded our discussion on Canto number 1. 4 chapters we are now, rather 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, total 5 chapters. The last 5 concluding chapters we are going to discuss in this quiz. Let us start first of all with some Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Dalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudigaye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaye Namo Namaha. Okay, once again, a very, very warm welcome to all the devotees to our special session on the quiz based on the chapter number 15 to 19 in the canto number 1 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this quiz is divided into 2 parts. In the first part, we will be discussing some short answer type questions. So the nature of these questions is that you have to refer to the book, you have to refer to the particular verse or maybe particular section of the book in a chapter, and then whatever the question is, you have to write a brief answer explaining in your own words. That is the purpose of this short answer type question section. Then we have also issued another quiz in which we have issued multiple choice type questions where one question have multiple choices and maybe one choice or multiple choices in that particular question may be correct. The focus of the quiz is mainly to revise, review, remember once again and discuss at large in detail in the arrangement of the class that we have the important learnings and the deeper spiritual lessons that we have learned while studying these 5 chapters, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Although we can prepare many, many questions, but the focus primarily has been kept on some of those questions which are really very significant as far as the spiritual growth, spiritual nourishment is concerned. So that's how these questions here have been chosen. So we will start with our discussion on the short answer type questions. I see 2 more devotees have joined us. Vrindavaneshwari Mataji, very warm welcome. And Anuradha Mataji also joining us. Very warm welcome, Mataji. So we will go to our first question in this section. And the first question is, explain how the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is applicable in all circumstances. So we have given a rough word limit of 75 words, but maybe 25 words less, 25 words more could be possibly used. So we will maybe request devotees who have attempted those questions. I see 4 or 5 devotees have participated in the short answer type question. I would like to specifically mention the name of Jaimala Mataji, Manish Prabhu, Vasudevan Prabhu, and Ishwar Prabhu. I'm not sure. Jivan Prabhu, did you also attempted the short answer type questions?
I have just made some 3 or 4 questions, but before today, I actually got it, but I have not sent them. I have not sent them today. But I have seen all the things. I have analyzed the things. To some extent, I am.
Okay. So 5 devotees, including Jivan Prabhu, have made the attempt. So really appreciate their effort. So, but others also can participate.
I was not aware that we are going to discuss the quiz only today. I would have attempted these answers also, although I had attempted the multiple choice. So
okay, don't worry. That is fine. I mean, you can attempt it later also, but now we will discuss, so you will already know what we are doing it. You can participate, by the way. That does not mean that you cannot participate. So certainly those 5 devotees who have given this a thought can answer it. But other devotees, do they want to attempt here? Do they want to share any response? Explain how the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is applicable in all circumstances. This is in relation to that chapter where Lord Krishna has departed the world, this planet, and Arjuna is feeling very, very dejected, sorrowful, sad that the Lord has gone. So that is this question is actually mainly in that context. So maybe now I open it to anyone who have attempted, who have not attempted, would like to answer. So okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Ishwarji, please.
May I start?
Yeah, please.
The instruction of Bhagavad Gita coming from the Lord Himself is the very essence of all Vedic wisdom. It is an all-weather, all-encompassing spiritual and practical guide that can be consulted in all critical times in one's life. Its teachings are ever relevant and true, like the Lord Himself. Call it an incarnation of the Lord if we so desire. Bhagavad Gita is Lord's legacy left behind to help humanity to consult, contemplate, and take instructions of the Lord even when He is not visible or audible to us. One can desire the same benefit from Bhagavad Gita as Arjuna did in the presence of Lord Sri Krishna. Any faithful human being desirous of being liberated from the clutches of material existence can very easily take advantage of Bhagavad Gita as Arjuna did in his hour of great confusion and testing times in Mahabharata war.
Yes. Okay. Very nice, Prabhuji. Very nice answer. Okay. Any other answer? Any other thoughts? So Prabhuji has given a very nice answer that it is a universal book, and at any time and age we can refer to this book and solve our problems, solve our difficulties. So that's how. And then he also mentions that Bhagavad Gita's where the word of the Lord are no different from the Lord Himself. Like that, he has tried to convince us that how the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is applicable in all circumstances. Very nice. Okay, any more points devotees would like to share what they have responded to besides the points that Ishwar Prabhu has already shared with us? Okay, Jaimala Mataji, you have any more points?
Same points, Prabhu. Same point.
Okay, same point. Very nice. Okay. Okay, then Jivan Prabhu and maybe who else? Vasudevan
May
Prabhu.
I add more line to it?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Yeah.
Gita is the mainstay of our knowledge that can help us reach the stage of perfection of our soul, karma, jnana, devotional service, and total surrender unto Him. Which would mean no karmic reactions, no birth and death of such. That is the I would
Okay. So I have also attempted to answer this question. Maybe I'll share my answer also. It's along the same line, but there might be a little subtle different approach that I have taken. But more or less what you are mentioning is a similar thing. So my answer is Bhagavad Gita is a book of wisdom. This wisdom was spoken by the Lord to Arjuna when he was facing a crisis in his life. That crisis was whether to fight the battle against his own relatives. With the help of this knowledge, Arjuna's dilemma was dispelled and he could take the right decision. So the first paragraph is telling me or telling us that Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Arjuna when he was in a situation where he was confused. After receiving the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, he could remove his confusion. That confusion was removed and he could move forward in his life. That's the main answer. But then the point is, if it was relevant to Arjuna, does that mean it is relevant to us also? That it is, because the question, it is applicable in all circumstances. So Arjuna's circumstances, maybe Gita might have resolved. But how does it mean that it will resolve our circumstances also, our problems also? So here, although the knowledge spoken was for Arjuna's specific situation, but this knowledge contains the principles which are universal in nature. This is the main point, in my opinion, that the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, although it was spoken for Arjuna's problem, but the way Lord Krishna has solved Arjuna's problem in this book, he has used and he has explained certain principles. And these principles are universal in nature, like the theory of karma or existence of God, nature of living entity, nature of time, kala, nature of prakriti, which is material nature. Like 4 or 5 subjects he has spoken here. He has given that knowledge and he has explained how everything is connected with each other, how everything actually works like that. So once people understand all the interactions between Lord, living entity, material nature, karma, kala, etc., then they get a good overall good view of life. Good view of life, why things happen the way they happen. They understand it. So Gita addresses the reason of living entities' problems at its root. So Gita addresses this problem at its root. At its root mean what is the root cause of our problems? And the root cause of our problem is living entities' forgetfulness of its identity as part and parcel of the Lord. So we forget that actually we are part and parcel of the Lord. And because we forget this relationship with the Lord, we start to think that we are the Lord, and we start to engage in activities out of our pride, out of our ego, and so on, and then get entangled into the cycle of karmic chain. And because we get entangled into the cycle of karmic chain, we get pious result, sometimes we get unpious result, sometimes we get good species of life, sometimes we get bad species of life, and all that. And then ultimately, Gita also offers the solution. How? By following a process of yoga. It could be bhakti, karma yoga, jnana yoga, etc. Various yogas are given. This misidentification can be corrected. And one can learn from these principles in every time and age and be benefited by them. So that is why Bhagavad Gita is actually applicable in all circumstances. If we have to elaborate a little bit more, we can also say, giving the reference of this particular chapter, we can say that Arjuna was feeling very, very despondent when he understood that the Lord has left. And how did he remove his despondency? He removed his despondency by contemplating on the message of Bhagavad Gita in the absence of the Lord. In the Mahabharata war, he heard Gita directly from Krishna. But now in the chapter number 15 of Srimad Bhagavatam, he is hearing Bhagavad Gita only by contemplating on the message of Gita. Oh, the Lord said this. Oh, the Lord said this. the moment he started contemplating on Bhagavad Gita, his despondency was gone. So this, from the contextual point of view of Srimad Bhagavatam, Arjuna could remove his problem, his despondency, his dilemma, while he heard Bhagavad Gita from the Lord, and while he heard or contemplated on Bhagavad Gita while the Lord was not there. In both situations, he could solve his issues. So that is how we can also say that Bhagavad Gita is applicable in all circumstances, whether to hear directly from the Lord or whether to hear only by reading a book called Bhagavad Gita, or maybe from some devotee or something like that. So that is, maybe we can understand.
Can I add one more point, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mother, yes.
My understanding, like not understanding, I heard it somewhere. Bhagavad Gita not only tell us how to manage our failures, it also teaches us how to manage our success.
Yes. You heard in our class only.
Yeah, maybe somewhere.
We mentioned this point when we were discussing on this topic.
Yeah.
So
thank you for that. Yeah. So I passed.
Yeah. I'm happy that you remembered that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Actually, Prabhuji, here in the question, because you are given that reference of 115.27, we thought you are referring to that particular situation in which Arjuna was despondent and then he removed. I was thinking from that, I mean, it is like a general question. It is not so, because you are given reference, we thought we should probe the point. Actually, Prabhupada has given a very nice explanation on that in page number 863. That is about 1 page full explanation is there on that.
Right.
So, I want to actually, the last explanation, what you gave, the last explanation.
115.27p.
Yeah, 27. That, and the question is from that this thing, if you see that this thing, now I am attracted to those instructions imparted by me by the personality of Godhead Govinda, because they are impregnated with instructions for relieving and burning hot in all circumstances of time and space. So I thought we have to dig into the answer from this purport. That was the thinking.
Yeah.
So I made some answers on this thing, but I have not forwarded to you.
No. Yeah, actually it is from the purport only. I have given a little more generic explanation of that. If you read the purport, Prabhupada mentioned all these points.
Yeah,
the relation between the living entities and the Lord. And how the gunas, how he comes into entanglement of the gunas, and then by the entanglement of the gunas, he engaged into activities, sometimes pious activities, sometimes unpious activities, like that. So I have given a little more simpler version of that. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Good discussion. Happy to hear the enthusiasm of the class. Now we go to the next one. Reasons for Dharani's lamentation. So this question also a very nice question. What are the various possible reasons mentioned by Dharma for Dharani's lamentation? So Dharma here is that bull and Dharani is that mother cow. So we saw that in chapter number 16, Parikshit Maharaj is observing this Kali personified as a king is hurting this bull called Dharma. And the cow is standing nearby and she is actually weeping, lamenting and so on. So Dharma is making some guesses why you are lamenting. And in that guessing, he gives a good lengthy reference list of why people lament or why people become sad or why people become full of misery and so on. So it's a list of misery, why people become miserable. So good to go through this list. This gives us the confidence that this world is actually full of miseries only. So what were those different points? So maybe one by one we can give different devotees some chance. So maybe Jaimala Mataji like to share or start with a couple of those.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Let other devotees try, Prabhu.
Okay, no problem. So anyone would like to try? Say, for example, what there? Yeah, Jivan Prabhu, would you like to try?
Yeah, Prabhuji, actually, the Dharma was questioning the Dharani, that is, the bull was questioning this thing, the Dharta, that is the form of a cow. Why she was lamenting for, due to some methods, due to some internal disease, or a friend in a distant land. That is the first point. The second thing is, because of his state of missing 3 legs and standing on only 1 leg. That is the second point. And third, in that same, that is the next sloka, because of the exploitation of the cow by the unlawful meat eaters.
Okay, so let us focus on first three, and then we go one by one. So the first point, Dharma says, Dharma actually comments on Dharani, that is it because of health issues? Are you feeling sad? Are you lamenting mainly because your health is not good? So health is one possible reason that we may be miserable in this world. It's a very common issue associated with everyone. Then the second one is saying that, have you separated from your friend who is living in a far distant land? So the idea is separation with relatives, friends, close colleagues, etc. That could also be another reason for lamentation. And we can understand that this problem could be mainly related to relationship problems. So relationship problem. People might be living in the same house. They might be physically close to each other, but emotionally they may be very, very far from each other. Say maybe husband and wife living together, but neither the husband takes care of wife nor the wife takes care of the husband. So it is something like, although they are living together, but husband goes to his work, wife goes to his work. They come back, they eat their food, wife eats her food. Again, the same thing. So although they are living together, but emotionally they are not connected. So this is also another misery in this world, relationship problems. Then the third issue is Dharma losing his 3 legs. So Dharma is saying, are you lamenting mainly because you see that I have lost my 3 legs? Now 3 legs actually indicate dharmic principles. So losing dharmic principles means that yeah, so dharmic principles, losing dharmic principles would mean that generally when we live a dharmic life means not based on dharma, then that also causes a lot of difficulties. So we are living in largely a dharmic society where mostly everything is geared towards sense gratification. That is a dharmic sense gratification. Then I think Prabhuji also mentioned about Dharani is lamenting because he is fearful that people will exploit her for meat eating purposes. So we see the meat eating, animal killing, slaughterhouses are very much, even in Bangalore you see, even in Indian cities you see, every now and then you will find these meat shops. So this is also a very sinful activity and have very deep karmic consequences. So people can be very, very sad in their life mainly because of these karmic consequences also. Okay, what more, Prabhuji? What more reasons were there?
Whether the demigods, because at that point, now the actual offering to demigods has reduced, considering demigods who are now bereft of sacrificial offerings. That is
okay.
the another point.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. And okay, let me elaborate a little bit. So we see in Bhagavad Gita, there is a full chain of karmic reaction. So the karmic reaction means that the arrangement by the Lord is like this, that he has organized this material universe in such a way that there will be demigods who will be in charge of all various affairs in the material universe, material world. And the people who are living in the material world will offer their offerings to their demigods. They will worship them. So the demigods will receive those offerings, and then in return they will actually give them good governance of the material universe. The rain god will give rains, the sun god will give light. All these things will work in very proper balance. So the the living entity follow this process of sacrifice. They do these yagyas offering to the demigods, and the demigods in return them give peaceful life on the earth. Nature is satisfied, everything like that. But now people don't believe in demigod. People don't believe in any life other than this material realm, other than this earthly realm. So there are no yagyas, there are no worships of demigods. So like this, we see a lot of imbalance. Rains are not there, things are not there like that. Although we talk about this demigod worship and so on, but this is not applicable to devotees as such, because devotees in their life, they are already doing or already leading a life full of sacrifice. They do Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting. They do all kind of sacrifice, like they offer food to the Lord. Only after that they eat it. They observe a lot of austerities in Ekadashi and so on, like that. So their life is already full of sacrifices. So they need not do these demigod sacrificial offerings. Okay, Prabhuji, next. Yes, Jivan Prabhu. Next one.
Yeah, next one is considering the women and the children who are left by unscrupulous person and the goddess of learning, that is Saraswati, who is being handled by sinful brahmanas, and the brahmanas who are serving kings, disrespectful to our Brahminical culture. These are all coming in the next shloka.
In the next. Okay, yeah. So let us see one by one. So it is she's saying that Dharma is saying, are you unhappy because women and children are left by the unscrupulous people? So we see here in the society today, women are enjoyed by people illicitly and so on, and then when they beget children, these people leave them, and then there's a difficulty in their life. So adultery, cheating in the modern society is a big problem. Then goddess of learning in the hands of sinful Brahmana. What does this mean? Sinful Brahmana could mean maybe the education system is commercialized, and then it dilutes the quality of the education. So in the previous time, the education was given free of charge by Brahmanas for the purpose of the benefit of the people. Today, it is given mainly for earning money. So the quality of education is diluted. The purpose of the education is diluted. People are corrupt. Those who are teaching are corrupt. Those who are getting that education are also corrupt, like that. Then kings are disrespectful of Brahmanical culture. In the earlier times, kings used to respect Brahmanas a lot, because Brahmanas were actually very learned people. They understood life, they understood transcendence, they understood spirituality very nicely. And they could see the situations through the eyes of the scriptures and guide the ruler in such a way that it is beneficial for the society, not only from material perspective, but also from spiritual perspective. But nowadays, kings don't respect Brahmanas. So it is really leading to adharmic administration. Then disorderly adharmic administration from adharmic kings, unrestricted sense gratification. This will only cause misery, like that. Then ultimately, ultimately Dharma says, are you really lamenting mainly because the Lord has left this planet? So what does it indicate? Actually, if we want to become happy, simply if we surrender to the Lord, follow his regulative principles, follow his advice, everything else in our life will become very nice. So absence of the Lord, this actually is the root cause of all our problems. So like this, we can contemplate on the points that Dharma is discussing with Dharani here. Very nice, actually, section in the Bhagavatam, and a lot of nice meditative points are there. What unwanted qualities destroy 4 legs of Dharma? So what are those unwanted qualities that destroy 4 legs of Dharma? But what are 4 legs of Dharma, first of all?
Austerity, cleanliness, Mercy and truth. Mercy and truth.
Mercy and truth. Mercy and truth. So austerity means tapa, cleanliness means shaucham, mercy means daya, and truth means satyam. Okay, and what are those unwanted qualities that
Pride.
destroy these four legs of dharma?
Pride, lust for women, and intoxication.
Pride, lust for women, and intoxication. Okay, very good. So how does pride destroy? What does pride actually destroy? Actually, pride can destroy all of them, but in general, what does it destroy? How does the pride thing work? What does pride mean? What does, yes, pride destroys tapa. Correct, correct. Dambha is another form of pride. Ahankar, dambha. There are different forms of degrees of pride. So what does pride do? What happens when we are proud? What happens?
It destroys humility.
It destroys humility, correct. Okay, that it destroys humility. Okay, so what? Let it destroy humility. What is the problem?
Then there is then you start to believe yourself to be controller.
Very nice point. We start to believe ourselves as Ishvara or Ravana or Hiranyakashipu, that I am the greatest. I am the hero. I am the hero, and because I am the hero, I can do anything. I can do anything. I don't need Jivan Radha Prabhu. I don't need Vrindavaneshwari Mataji. I don't need any spiritual master. I don't need anybody. I can do myself. Why should I need anyone? Why should I bother about someone and so on? So these kind of emotions are there when we are proud. And another indication of what happens when we are proud is that we think that we don't need anything to do for our development, for our purification. We don't need anything because we are there. We are actually best. We are the heroes. So the heroes and the best people don't need much to develop. So actually, the pride destroys austerity.
Yes, minimal austerity.
Pride makes someone puffed up in one's own capability to ascertain right and wrong, and it destroys austerity, which is geared towards self-purification. So then our purification is stopped when we are proud. Then what happens when we are having lust for women or lust in general? I mean, for men it means lust for women, and for women it means lust for men. So it works both ways, although it is written lust for women. So what does it mean? What happens when we are lusty? What does it destroy typically?
We do not remain clean.
We do not remain clean. It typically destroys cleanliness. Destroys cleanliness. So that is possible, yes. And then what happens when we are intoxicated? What happens when we are intoxicated?
Mercy gets affected.
Yes, Prabhu, sorry.
Mercy
yes.
Destroyed.
Mercy is destroyed. How is it destroyed? How mercy is destroyed when we are intoxicated? What does intoxication means? Intoxication could be because of we are drunk with physical bottle of alcohol, or intoxication also means an extreme form of pride. Intoxicated. Now we are like we can't actually hear anyone. We can't bear anyone near us. In pride, our degree is a little low. But in intoxication, we are intoxicated. Means we are now, जैसे we call it in Hindi, चढ़ गई है. शराब जो है वो चढ़कर बोल रही है. नशा जो चढ़कर बोल रहा है. So it has now really gone into us. So it destroys mercy. How does it destroy mercy? Because in front of us, we don't see anyone else. We are simply so self-centered that we don't even bother about anyone. We don't bother about removing someone. We don't bother about humiliating someone. We don't bother about destroying someone or doing something bad to someone else, and so on. So the mercy is gone. How can we be merciful when we are only very much self-centered? Somebody who has come for help to us, I don't want to help you. I'm actually, I don't need you. Why should I help you? So, intoxicated person, the mercy is lost. Destroys mercy as in intoxicated state. One may not see others to be, one may see others to be insignificant. So, I would actually correct this. One may not see others to be significant. That is okay. So, this is done. Now we go to the next one. Forbearance of a devotee. Write a brief note on forbearance of a devotee. So what have you written, dear devotees? Would like to share?
May I speak, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes, yes.
The devotees of the Lord are exceptionally forbearing when it comes to their being defamed, cheated, cursed, neglected, or even killed also. They do not avenge personal vendetta whatsoever. However, a devotee being very powerful, even more than a Brahmana, takes a very strong action when something is done against the Lord or another fellow devotee. He never misuses his powers for personal benefit. Lord God and fellow devotees are his only weakness, so to say.
Very nice, very nice.
The above characteristics were wholesomely followed and depicted by Maharaja Parikshit on being cursed by an immature Brahman boy.
Very nice. Yes, very good, Prabhuji, very nice. So the devotees,
3 points.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, so the devotees.
I wanted to add something. It is
Yes,
extremely good for me. Like I'll say that a devotee follows all the principles of dharma, so he is most forbearing. Since he strictly follows the daya, tapa, shaucha, and what do you say?
Yeah. So a devotee consider himself to be, he thinks less of himself or herself, but more thinks of others and the Lord. Devotees of the Lord and the Lord. He's always thinking about how I can serve the Lord, how I can serve the devotees, and so on. He's not considered at all about if someone is serving him, somebody is glorifying him, somebody is appreciating him. Not at all. He's always and always directed towards the other fellow devotees or serving the Supreme Lord. So even if somebody insults him, somebody cheats him, somebody gives or provides any harm to him, he does not bother about it, or I would say he generally like to tolerate all these inconveniences. So similarly, Parikshit Maharaj kind of tolerated the curse of this Brahmana boy Shringi. So he also tolerated this curse. And where exactly this verse comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam, where exactly this verse number 48 of 18th chapter comes in Bhagavatam, it comes when Shamika Rishi is praying for the Brahmana boy Shringi. So why Shamika Rishi prays for Brahmana boy Shringi? The reason is given by Prabhupada in the purport. The reason is Shamika Rishi thought that my boy Shringi has committed a great offense towards a devotee. And only if Parikshit Maharaj forgives him or Parikshit Maharaj counter curses him, in only that situation, Shringi can get rid of the reaction of the offense that he has committed. Only in that situation. But the devotee of the Lord are so forbearing that even if they are insulted, even if they are cheated, even if they are given some harm, even if they are killed, even they will not take any revenge. They will not take any revenge. So, because Parikshit Maharaj will only be silent in this situation because of being a devotee, now let me pray to the Supreme Lord so that my immature boy who has committed this offense out of immaturity, out of inexperience, probably the Lord will hear my prayers and will forgive Shringi. So that is the whole idea. That is how maybe we can present it, or like our Ishwar Prabhu has presented, we can present it like that only. The devotee is tolerant towards for their own insults, they are tolerant. But if similar thing happens to devotee of the Lord or the Lord Himself, they are not tolerant. They will like to intervene in that situation. So I have mentioned it like this. This verse talks that a devotee of the Lord is not inclined to take revenge, even if he is defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed. A devotee's life is dedicated in the service of the Lord and his devotees. Unless someone causes any harm to the Lord or his devotees, a devotee tolerates any harm directed towards him. Shamika Rishi knew that his son insulted Parikshit. And since this was personally directed, Parikshit will not take any action. And therefore, Shamika's son will not be able to be saved from the offense he did. Shamika therefore decides to pray to the Lord to forgive his immature son. So, also giving the context of the situation, and in general also we kind of answer this question. Is it clear, sir? Everyone and madams? I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So we go to the next one. Glory of devotee association. What is glory of association of devotees? What is the glory of association of devotees? In 19th chapter, from verse 25th to 40th. How can we, how this chapter gives various indications of glory of association of devotees? Any feedback, any thoughts?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, may I try?
Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
The ultimate aim of life is to attain the highest professional stage of devotional service to the Lord, so as to be free from the miseries of limited birth and death. So on our run up to be with the Lord, this effort should begin at the earliest by turning to be a sincere believer first, devotee of the Lord, attaining and gradually moving up the ladder of manifest godly qualifications, taking help from fellow devotees, teachers, spiritual masters, great saints, and people like Sukdev Goswami, some demigod or incarnation of the Lord who are considered equal or even more honorable than the Lord Himself. The good Lord never minimizes the importance of a sincere, elevated devotee. King Parikshit, Sukdev Goswami, Prahlad, and Dhruv Maharaj are some fine examples of such devotees. Their presence anywhere at earth makes that place a place of pilgrimage, that is, that place fully sanctified. Yes. Associating with saintly devotees ensures that no demon or ghost can exert any bad influence to us. The devotee family also are also better served like this. The Lord gives a special protection to members of such families. Maharaja Parikshit was himself a great beneficiary of that on that front. The Lord arranged to send Sukdev Goswami for narrating a great devotee and narrated Srimad Bhagavatam for his return to God. So that was
very good.
Yes.
Very good, very good. So very nice points. Some of the points looks like are from outside the section that the question has given, but that is okay. At least we have discussed those points. So the way I have answered it, in these verses, appearance of Shukdev Goswami in the assembly of sages has been described when Parikshit was preparing himself to die at the bank of Ganges. There are several beautiful glorifications given in this section related to association of devotees. What is the first one? Devotees are like holy places personified. So if a devotee comes to your house, it is like a tirtha is walking into our house. So we sometimes we go to Vrindavan, Mathura, Dwarka, Badrinath, like that. So when a devotee is entering our house, it is like a tirtha is walking into our house. We are mainly talking about pure devotees. Simply remembrance makes one home sanctified. What then will be the effect of seeing, touching, washing holy feet and offering a seed? So if simply remembering a pure devotee of the Lord actually makes our home a mandir, a sanctified place, then if we get the opportunity to have a darshan of the devotee, be able to maybe shake hands with the devotee or maybe touch the lotus feet of the devotee or maybe wash his holy feet and offering him a seat, then the benefit is even much, much more like that. So greatest sins are vanquished in devotee association. This is another point that is given in the chapter. So like this, we have several points given in the regarding this question. We discuss those. Okay. Now we move to the sixth one. What was Parikshit's response on receiving the news of Shringi's curse? Why didn't he beg forgiveness from Shamika? What was Parikshit's response on receiving the news of Shringi's curse? So I will take him to the court. Will penalize him in this IPC section so and so. That was the response that Parikshit gave.
He accepted the curse.
Sorry?
He accepted the curse.
He accepted the curse. Okay. Fine.
With the mindset because the pure devotees never think that they haven't created, they haven't done any mistakes. They really repent their mistakes.
So what happened when Shringi cursed him? Did Shringi curse him directly in front of Parikshit or Parikshit away?
Parikshit
so
had come.
Parikshit was not present there. Parikshit was not there when Shringi was cursing.
He received the news. He received the news by someone else sent by Shamika.
So when someone sent that news to Parikshit, then what Parikshit was reacting? What was his reaction?
He did not react.
Yeah.
He just left everything else.
He did took some action. He did took some
he
action.
He renounced his Rajpat at the very moment, and he went to the banks of River Ganga to fast unto death.
Yes, to fast until death. And he was already convinced that now is the time I should start focusing on the lotus feet of the Lord, and I should now start preparing for my death. But there was some initial reaction was there from him. Parikshit's response was as follows.
First of all, he started.
Yes,
first of all, may Prabhu?
Yes.
First of all, he started reflecting upon his act. He started thinking, I have performed a heinous act and like an uncivilized man against a faultless and a powerful Brahmana. That is the first this thing. Even though accidental sins are committed by devotee, or when it is sincerely regretted, by the grace of Lord, all sins are are burnt in the fire of repentance. But still, he was reflecting on that, and then he also expecting and discerning calamity. I must expect some calamity due to my neglecting the injunctions of the Lord. So probably he was expecting some big calamity to happen, so that he realized that he should not commit such type of mistake in future.
Okay. Yes.
That is the thing. This finally he gets. Like that he goes like that, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. So very nice, Prabhuji. And then I will continue where Prabhu has left. After that, the news comes that messenger from Shamika Rishi is sent to Parikshit Maharaj's court, and he very regretfully mentions it to the king. Sir, we are very sorry to say that the son of my teacher Shamika Rishi has cursed you to die in 7 days, like that. So when the Parikshit hears this news, then his reaction is, he felt that it is a blessing in disguise. It is unbelievable, isn't it? He thinks that it's a blessing in disguise. He thinks that the curse will make him indifferent towards worldly things. Because he was a devotee, he was looking for a pretext, that on that pretext he can leave his kingdom and actually enter into discussion of Harikatha. So the curse will make him indifferent towards worldly things. That was the thought that came to his mind. And then he sat on the bank of Ganges with a vow not to eat until death. He surrendered at the lotus feet of the Lord. So like this, his reaction was on receiving this news of Shringi's curse. Now the second part of the question is, why didn't he beg forgiveness from Shamika? So Parikshit already received this curse. He can go to Shamika Rishi's ashram and then beg forgiveness to Shamika Rishi. My dear sir, I had committed a great offense. Please forgive me. Please do something to counter this curse, or please do something to remove the effect of this curse. He could have always done that, but he did not do that. Why?
Yeah. Because he wanted to save him any embarrassment.
Okay, why would Shamika be embarrassed? Why would Shamika be embarrassed?
Because he was already embarrassed that his own son had created such a grave mistake.
Yeah. So he was already embarrassed. He was already feeling very bad about it. So when we beg for forgiveness, our reason for forgiving or begging for forgiveness is mainly to pacify the other person against whom we have committed some offense. So our objective is mainly to pacify that person. But here we see Shamika Rishi is not looking for that pacification. He is already pacified in that sense that he is already not feeling any sore feeling or any bad feeling towards Parikshit. Rather, on the contrary, he is feeling very guilty about it. So if Parikshit would go in front of Shamika Rishi, Shamika Rishi will actually feel even more guilty. So in order to save him from that embarrassment, Parikshit thought that now, okay, I understand what is going on. I rather go to the bank of Ganges and then fast until death and surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord. I will not bother about asking for forgiveness from Shamika Rishi. Shamika Rishi is already forgiven me. Already he is actually not very happy with the way things have turned out. So that is why, in order to show this sensitivity, Parikshit Maharaj did not go to Shamika for forgiveness. So here the answer is, Parikshit did not beg forgiveness from Shamika to avoid further embarrassment. The objective of forgiveness is to allay the bruised feelings of the other party. Since Shamika Rishi was already feeling sorry on the behavior of his son, Parikshit did not want to embarrass him further by going in front of him. Okay. Now we move to the next section of our class, multiple choice questions. We have 10 questions, maybe two questions from each chapter. We'll start now. So maybe may I request someone to read, because it will be a little helpful to me.
I can.
Okay, Vrindavaneshwari Mataji, please read.
On Lord Krishna's departure, Arjuna felt that he has lost all his powers. What does this signify? Answer from 1:15:5. More than one options may be correct.
Yeah. So this is the first option. Let us hear from the devotees. Is this correct or not?
When we are grief-stricken, we feel powerless.
Is this a correct option? Is this the correct option?
No.
No. Okay. Do everyone agree with Prabhu? Prabhuji? Correct option or not? Prabhu says no. So when we are grief stricken, we feel powerless. So Krishna has departed.
But not powerless. We may be disturbed temporarily, but sometimes our power increases. We react to the situation in a much stronger way compared to under normal circumstances also.
Okay.
In case of Arjuna, this is not true.
This is not true. Okay. So why it is not true?
Because as you had already told, Arjuna was directly guided by the Lord on the battlefield, and when the Lord had gone to Goloka, he contemplated on the message of the Lord, and he could find his composure.
Yeah. So that is one way to understand this. But actually, in this case, what has happened is, when Lord comes here on this planet to complete some project, he brings his associates with him, and he empowers his associate in a particular way. So Arjuna was empowered by the Lord himself. And when the project was over, Lord went away, and he also took all those powers from his associates. So saying that Arjuna was grief-stricken, that is why he felt powerless, is not correct. Actually, the powers were given by Krishna. Krishna left, he took powers from Arjuna. That is why Arjuna was feeling powerless. That is the answer. Does that satisfy you?
Yeah.
Ishwar Prabhu, satisfy
No.
you?
Yes, I have.
Why would Krishna take away the powers?
Actually, that is the significance of this pastime. If you read the purport, that is the significance of the pastime. So Lord comes, his associate also comes. He empowers these associates, and when he leaves, he takes his power with him. The point is, Mataji, all what we are able to do is only because the Lord has sanctioned that ability, capability within us. If I am able to present this class,
so whenever God goes from the earth, nobody will be powerful. Everyone will be powerless.
No. That is not the meaning. Lord can be away from the earth and can still empower while not being present on the earth. The point is, the project of Mahabharat war and establishing dharmic rule was over. For that particular purpose, the people like Arjuna were given that power to be the best of the archers and best of whatever not. And when he left, he took those powers with him. The point is, Mataji, whatever we are capable of, even if we are capable of lifting something as light as this, or we are capable of presenting something very nicely, or we may be capable of running a huge country like India, like Prime Minister is doing. Everything actually is the power that is coming from the Lord.
Yes.
And when we are deprived of this power, we should understand that this was Lord's power given to us, and now the Lord has taken it back. Our purpose that Lord wanted to fulfill has been over. That is why the powers have been withdrawn. So if we make our mentality, make our consciousness like this, we will not be feeling proud, we will not be feeling lamented, we will not be feeling morose, sorrowful, etc. etc. And that is the truth. That is the truth. Everything that is happened, whatever we are, like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am the ability in the man. I am the ability in the man, right? So that's what we can understand. Okay. Now the second point, please read.
Can you say that these powers are for a specific mission, time period, and God willing time?
Yeah. So we have a time period. We are born on certain date. We will go on certain date.
Right.
The powers are given to us. Sometimes within that period also some powers are given and withdrawn.
Right.
They are coming from Krishna ultimately. We think ahankar vimudhatma karta ham iti manyate. Out of ahankar, out of pride, we think it is actually me who is doing this heroic job. When a person becomes devotee, what does he think? Oh, it was only because of the mercy of the Lord I was able to do. भगवान की कृपा थी कि मैं कर पाया. भगवान के आशीर्वाद के बिना मैं नहीं कर पाता, है ना? Okay, Mataji, point B.
This shows Arjuna's humility. He is giving credit to Krishna for his powers.
Okay, true or false?
I think it's true.
It is true. So Arjuna had his powers, and out of humility, he is saying that, okay, Krishna, it was by
Oh,
you,
no,
but the
not
powers
in
are
that
mine.
sense. No, not in that sense, of course.
You see here,
He
for
was
his
by
powers.
nature humble, so he acknowledged that whatever powers I had, they were coming from Krishna.
Yeah, so it is the design. The question has been designed is like this: he is giving credit to Krishna for his powers.
Okay.
And he's feeling, actually, he's feeling humble. No, actually, the powers are me only, but I'll give the credit to Krishna uh, uh, for his powers. His actually here means Arjuna's powers.
Okay, okay.
So this is also not
Tricky.
correct. Tricky,
Yes.
yeah. I tricked you. Then part C.
No one can be independently powerful without being empowered by the Lord. That's true.
Nobody
That's
can
true
be
in sense.
independently. That is true, right? That is what we are discussing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. D.
Lord empowered Arjuna to meet certain objectives. Once the objective is achieved, he disempowered him. That's what
That
he
is also true, right? Yes. Okay. Agreed, everyone?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Okay. E.
No one should feel puffed up for one's part. Rather, one should feel obliged to the Lord.
Isn't it? That
Yes.
is the main.
Yes.
That is the main message. That is the main message.
Yes.
That is the main realization from this pastime.
Yes.
So the answer is C, D, and E. Okay. Now we go to the next one. Please read, Mataji.
What is the meaning of the phrase picking thorn by thorn in verse 1:15:34? More than one options may be correct. The thorn that pinpricks the Lord are like brimmings. The thorn that is used to remove the pinprick thorn are like demigods. The thorn that pinpricks the Lord are like demigods. The thorn that is used to remove pinpricks thorns are like demons.
So you see here, there are 4 options given. And can someone explain what is this 15:34 is all about? What was going on here? What was going on in this verse? Jivan Prabhu, would you like to share something? Any thoughts from your side?
Prabhuji, can I try?
Yeah, please go ahead.
I think there are 2 kinds of people. One belongs to the demons or asuras, the others are demigods. And Lord, of course, behaves impartially to both of them. But in the ultimate analysis, he has to save the demigods and the good people from the asuras. So he uses both of them. Here the first thing that the thorn is used to remove the pinprick, that is the devas, and the other group is the demigods, and the first are so there has to be a balance between the two, and God looks after both the groups based on the utility he is receiving from them.
Yeah. So, Prabhuji, little bit contextual, maybe we can explain. See, if you read the verse, 34th verse.
Prabhuji, Krishna caused the Yadus to relinquish their bodies and to relieve the burden of them, like one picks out a thorn. He wanted to achieve, actually, there were 2 sides of people. One is the Yadus, his own side, and the demons. So both were actually, had to be this thing. So in that context, this is being used. Something like
that. So here, if you read the verse, it is mentioned that the Supreme Lord Krishna caused the members of the Yadu dynasty to relinquish their bodies and thus he relieved the burden of the world. Now it is a little confusing because people of Yadu dynasty were the associates of the Lord who had descended to this earthly planet mainly to assist the Lord in his pastime of establishing a dharmic rule in this world. And here in this verse, it is being mentioned to relieve the burden of the world, relinquish the bodies of the Yadus to relieve the burden of the world. And then he says, this action was like picking out a thorn with a thorn, though both are the same to the controller. So it is like picking out thorn from the thorn. So first of all, we should understand that the people of Yadu dynasty were not burden of the earth in that literal sense of the meaning. They were not something like demoniac in nature. It is clarified by this line, picking out thorns with a thorn. Picking out thorn with a thorn means that these Yadus were assisting the Lord in establishing the dharmic rule on this planet. So because they were assisting the Lord, so it is something similar when we get a thorn in our leg, in our feet. When we are walking, we get thorn in our feet. So that thorn is creating trouble to us. That thorn is giving us pain. But when we take another thorn, and with the help of this thorn, we remove this thorn which is now pricked into our feet. Then the second thorn, which is assisting us to remove that thorn, the painful thorn, is like Yadus. So this is how it is explained in the Bhagavatam. That when it is saying that relieve the burden of the world, is trying to indicate that now the project is over. Whoever came with me also leave. Whoever were now killed because of the project have also relieved the burden of the world. So relieve the burden of the world here actually means removing the thorn with a thorn. So here the thorn that pinpricks the Lord are like demons, and the thorn that is used to remove the pinprick thorn are like demigods. Clear, Prabhuji?
Yes, it also represents a kind of service to the Lord, sir.
Kind of service to the Lord, correct.
Yes.
Kind of service to the Lord. So when these people heard, the Shaunak Adi Rishis heard that these are burden, the Sud Goswami is calling them a burden, then they were disturbed. Why the Lord is calling him burden? Then this is the clarification here that it is like picking thorn by a thorn.
Yes, yes.
So the correct answer is A and B. Okay, Mataji, please read.
Yeah. Please pick up the right instructions regarding retirement from active family life. 1:15:37. More than one options may be correct.
Yeah.
When someone is in the family is ready to take up responsibility, one must start preparing for retirement for spiritual and advancement.
Okay, right or wrong?
Right, Prabhu.
Right? Vrindavaneshwari Mataji, agreed?
I think so. It is right.
Okay, good. I also agree. Okay, B.
Before death forcefully drags us out, one must leave family life for self-realization. This is perfectly right.
Perfectly right. You are willing to do this?
Not really.
Not really. I am willing to do this, but I may not be very capable of doing it.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of. Family responsibility should not lead to undue attachment. Yes. Detachment does not mean running away from responsibility. That's
Okay. Everyone else also agreeing?
Yes,
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 right.
Prabhu.
Yes. Okay. So A, B, and C all are correct. Okay. Next one.
D also is correct.
One must dutifully take up family life with responsibility and timely retire without detachment.
With detachment. One must dutifully take up life and timely retire with detachment. So a very, very useful, important message for specifically the senior people. That does not mean that you should start leaving your home tomorrow. But the point is, develop more detachment and delegate the responsibilities as much as you can to the next generation. And what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to enter into our bhajan more and more, more and more, more and more. That is the idea. So the more we do this, the more happier, peaceful we will be. And even the family will be happier and peaceful. Yeah. So the correct answer is A, B, C, D. Okay, next one.
How would kings like Parikshit rule their kingdoms? 1, 16, 1. More than one options may be correct. Such kings ruled like dictators, no, since they were not elected by people.
So
No.
it is like they were Tanasha because they were not following democracy. There were no election commission. There were no elections going on. People electing them. Simply a king will come, his son will become another king, and then they will be like dictators. Is it correct?
No.
No.
Not at all.
So how will you prove that they were not dictators?
Oh no. Dictators never care about people's wishes, people's protection. They do not, they exploit people. They do just the opposite what Parikshit Maharaj was. They
but they
are
were not elected by people. The king was not taking any viewpoint from the people, isn't it?
He was taking. That is why.
Okay.
Yeah. He was protecting not just the people, he was even protecting the living beings like plants, animals, everyone.
No.
So he was highly responsible.
Dictator means unilaterally applying one's own decisions without consultation.
No, he had the whole courtiers and courts to advise him, and that didn't satisfy.
Correct. So he would have ministers, he would have brahmanas, he will have his own ministers to whom he will discuss these matters, and then he will rule the kingdom. So he was not like a dictator.
Yes.
Okay. Second.
Such kings were more responsible than elected representatives since they were first-class devotees and ruled as per guidance of learned Brahmanas.
Correct or not?
Yes.
Elected representatives may be corrupt because they don't follow scriptures, they don't follow any rules, guidelines. They are simply driven by, most of them are simply driven by selfish motives. Somehow we get the chance to be in power. Like you see in the modern days. So this is B is correct. Okay. C.
The Brahmanas advising the king were self-realized souls not interested in eat, drink, and be merry ways of life. Yes.
So what were the Brahmanas? They were sycophants of the king. Whatever the king will say, they will follow it, or they were okay. So
no, we learn in the Katha of Vena that they advised the sinful Vain again and again to mend his ways, and when he did not, they even read the mantras and killed him.
Right. So the Brahmanas were very much responsible. They were very self-realized people, and they will always think of the welfare of the state. And they were not like people who were engaged always in sense gratification. Only you can make them change their advice by giving them some gifts or giving some allurement like that. They were not like that. So the king would have been given a proper good advice as per the scriptures, as per the wisdom of these people, and so on. So that's how these were ruled. Okay, D.
Such kings were well versed about the purpose of human life, which is to develop love for God. Yes.
Okay. So what are the correct answers? B, C, and D. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, we go to the next one, fifth one. Yeah.
Why Maharaj Parikshit generously gave gifts to those who glorified his ancestors, based on 116, 13 to 15.
So this question is coming from the section where Maharaj Parikshit now started to go out for doing this Ashwamedha Yajna and making everyone come under his emperorship and so on. So when he would go out, he will meet people and the people will glorify his ancestors and he will give gifts in return. So option A.
Parikshit felt very proud that his ancestors were glorified. Parikshit felt very satisfied that his ancestors were glorified as devotees of the Lord. Yes.
So what is correct, A or B? Which one is correct? Or
B.
both are correct? B.
B.
B. Okay. Agreed? Everyone agreed?
Yes, B is correct, but about A also, I would like to say that one can feel really genuinely proud.
Genuinely
And
proud means here
he
proud is more that अरे वाह हम उस खानदान से हैं जहाँ से अर्जुन आए थे युधिष्ठिर आए थे that kind of proud. मैं तो बड़े मेरे दादा परदादा जो थे बड़े बड़े आदमी थे. That is the kind of proud. But here the reason for proud is explained in part B. Were glorified as devotees of the Lord.
Yes.
So feeling good or feeling because if some devotee of the Lord is glorified, then the devotees feel very satisfied, and they don't feel proud. They feel satisfied.
Yes.
Okay. C.
Parikshit felt flattered by the praises offered to his ancestors. No.
No. Okay. D.
Parikshit felt the presence of the Lord on hearing those glorifications. True.
True, isn't it? When you glorify the devotees, when you glorify the Lord, you feel the presence of the Lord. You feel very satisfied.
Yes.
So that is why, because he was feeling very satisfied, he was feeling the presence of the Lord, he naturally wanted to give something out of his satisfaction, out of his happiness, and that is why he gifted these people. Correct answer B and D. Agreed? Okay. We go to the sixth one.
How did Dharma, the bull, respond to Parikshit when Parikshit asked about the perpetrators? 1720. Multiple options may be correct. The bull avoided blaming anyone for his suffering. Yes.
Okay.
The bull gave a philosophical response quoting different philosophies. I do not know whether he gave different philosophies or not.
Yeah. So anyone
but he
else
did
may
give
want
some
to answer?
philosophical response.
So others may like to answer here. Jivan Prabhu, is it okay? So B is correct or not?
A, B,
Okay.
and okay.
A, B.
Prabhuji.
Okay, wait. A, B. Okay, wait. Okay. What are the different philosophies he gave? Anyone can suggest?
Actually, that was the question. Whether he is in a distant
How did Dharma the bull responded to Parikshit when Parikshit asked about the perpetrator? So Parikshit asked when Kali was hurting this Dharma, the bull. Parikshit asked, "What is going on? Who is actually causing you this difficulty?" So what did the bull say? How did the bull responded?
Actually, Prabhuji, actually gave some evading type of, different type of philosophies quoted.
Yeah.
One is
Yeah.
Advaita, they sing Advaita for this. Then again,
Correct.
also
So, okay.
Mimamsakas,
Yeah,
like that.
Mimamsakas, Lokayatas, Vaishnavas,
Yeah.
and so on. So
Vaishnava,
he gave different philosophies.
philosophy.
So he said that maybe it is because of my karma, it is because of it is my nature, because it is because of some daiva, superhuman powers are causing all this, like that.
Correct.
Okay. C.
The bull pointed to Kali, dressed as a Shudra.
Is this correct? Did he point to Kali? Parikshit
No.
is doing it for me. No, he did not do that, right? Okay, D.
The bull left it upon Parikshit to decide who is the first liberator. Yeah.
Very diplomatically. Avoid
That
it.
is true.
That is true,
Yeah.
right? So
Correct.
is round keep on going on, but not saying what is being asked. Mainly for a good reason. So correct answer is A, B, and D. C is not correct. Okay. 7th. Yes, Mataji.
Parikshit allowed Kali to reside where gold is available. What does gold signify here based on 117.39? More than one option is going to be correct. Excessive illegal wealth, yes. Wealth that promotes sense gratification, yes. Physical 24-karat gold, no. Jewelry, no.
So which one is correct? A and B, according to Vrindavaneshwari Mataji. Others
A and
also
B,
agree?
A and B are correct.
A and B are correct. Okay. I also agree with you because the slides are saying so. I also agree. Okay. Yes, 8th.
Use the two good qualities of Kali based on 118.7. More than one options may be correct. Auspicious acts bear effect just by intending to do them. Yes. Simple acts bear results only by actually doing them. Yes. Sinful thoughts bear results. No. Auspicious thoughts bear results only when actually done. No.
So agreed? Everyone agreed?
Yes, A, B correct.
A, B correct, right? Only simply by thinking that I will do good to Vrindavaneshwari Mataji, I will cook very nice kheer for her and then will offer Vrindavaneshwari Mataji. Then I will get some very good result. Right, Mataji? Right? And to Ishwar Prabhu, I will say that, okay, I will think that I will massage the lotus feet of Ishwar Prabhu and Ishwar Prabhu will be very happy with me, will give blessing to me, then I will get good result. Simply by thinking like this. Although I would actually also like to do this, but simply by thinking also I can good results. Right?
Correct. Correct.
So, and for doing something bad, only if we actually do it, then only we get some sinful result. So that does not mean that we do only good only in our thoughts. We don't actually do them. And if we get sinful result only by actually doing them, that does not mean that we start thinking about sinful things. That also does not mean that. So we need to prevent sinful thoughts, and we need to do more and more good in reality also. So need not be a license to always think good and not do good, and do bad and not like that. Is it clear?
Kind of ray of hope for those who are not unduly disturbed by Kali Yuga.
Correct.
Something must be done. One must be hopeful.
One must be hopeful, right? So giving a discount, Kali Yuga means discounted age.
Yes.
Some discount is given because so much of sinful activities are going all around. So some relief is being offered here. Okay, 9th. Mataji.
How did fall down of Brahminical class started? 1834. More than one options may be correct. When the Brahminical class started asserting their birthright without proper training in Brahminical culture. Yes.
Okay.
When Brahmanas became puffed up with Brahminical power. Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes. When Brahmanas became the leader of Varnashram system in the society. They were the leaders.
No. They were already the leaders. Varnashram system, Brahmanas are already the leaders. They are already considered as the highest Varna in any Varnashram society. Okay. D.
Then Brahminical class started looking down at people of other Varnas. Yes. ABD.
ABD. So when they started asserting their birthright without proper training, I am a Brahmana. What do you think? I have to do all these things. So I'm actually son of so and so. So I must do this. Although I'm eating meat, I'm drinking liquor and all that. But because son of so and so, I'm actually a Brahmana. That is where the Brahminical tradition started fall down. That's how it happened. Like it is like puffed up with Brahminical power and then looking down upon other people. So A, B, and D actually is saying similar things, but in a different way. Correct answer is A, B, and D. Okay, the last one.
Dash delivers the devotee from all kinds of sins accidentally committed based on 119. Sincere apology, accepting punishment, sincere repentance,
not repeating.
Not repeating. All of it.
All of them? But which one is the most? Only one option is correct.
Sincere repentance.
Repentance.
Sincere repentance. Genuine paschatap. Sincerely repenting. Oh, I could do this. I should not have done this. Isn't it? Sincerely repenting, begging forgiveness to the Lord, and so on and so forth. That is something which we can correct our situation in front of the Lord. So the correct answer is sincere repentance. So with this, dear devotees, we complete our revision, our little quiz. As I mentioned, I am focusing mostly on those concepts which are more, I would say, nourishing, worth remembering, worthy of discussing just because they are spiritually elevating to us. I'm keeping limited to those. Otherwise, we can, among these 5 chapters, we can maybe actually make 50, 60 questions, small questions. So in the interest of time, in the interest of our availability and so on, I think this was good. But if you have any feedback, please let me know. Was it okay? Was it good? Let me know if you have any feedback there.
It was excellent.
Sufficient, Mataji? Good enough?
Yeah. Very good enough.
Okay. So with that, we conclude our session. And from next session onward, we will continue our journey from where we left. Now we are on 3rd chapter. We have to finish the 3rd one and then start the 4th one. So we will quickly finish the 3rd one in the next class and then start dealing with the 4th chapter. Till then, very heartfelt gratitude to all of you who very nicely participated. In the quiz, actually, the multiple choice quiz, there were many more devotees who participated. Let me take their names. Jaimala Mataji, Rakesh Prabhu, Rajneesh Sharma ji, Vasudevan Prabhu, Ishwar Prabhu, Mangala Mataji, Vrindavaneshwari Mataji, Jivan Prabhu. So thank you, all of you. So encourage other devotees who for some reason may not participate this time to consider participating in the next time. It is only in your benefit. You can develop a deeper understanding of the subjects if you participate. Thank you very much.
For long answers, I think I need more time.
Yeah. Actually, I'm keeping this open book, which is we are not focusing much on memorizing. Like a closed book exam, that becomes a little more tough. But mainly to inspire us, nourish us, encourage us, motivate us. So I am giving the hint from where we have taken that question. So you can quickly go to that section, read it, meditate upon it, develop your answer. That is the objective of this quiz. Yeah.
For one of the questions that you had asked in the wrong answer type, like why should one welcome devotees? What was that? The devotees should be revered by everyone. something of that meaning.
Sorry, this
Like
quiz?
Shukadev Goswami, you were asking about a question like why do people, how do devotees help others? This was the question?
How do devotees help others? Multiple
There was
choice
a
or short
question.
answer?
No,
Multiple choice.
short answers. Short answers. To which you had explained in context with Shukadev Goswami, how he, there was like a more general answer could be given now, Prabhu, like the pure devotees, they remove or dispel the ignorance. They,
Oh yeah.
we can
Okay,
also
I think you
encourage.
are talking about glory of devotee association, right?
Yes. The
Yeah.
glory of
So
devotees.
yeah. So the point is, yes, we can elaborate a lot on this, but since we are revising it from the specific section and the hint is given from which section you need to answer it, so we are picking up mainly from that. Yeah. Otherwise, we can elaborate. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Sunita Mataji, are you there? I think she left. Anyway, so Vinayak ji, Hare Krishna, welcome. Atul ji, welcome. So we conclude our session today. We'll continue this journey of our study in the next class. Thank you very, very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Nice revision.
Nice revision, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you for your effort. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mother. Yes.